So today I want to talk about something called quantum entanglement. And I'm going to start with a very basic example and we'll expand from there. I'm sure that you have seen the experiments on YouTube, and if not, just look it up, resonating tuning forks. And musicians have tuning forks where they're in a box and they'll hit one and they'll put another one next to it if it's a resonant frequency, and the other one will start vibrating. This is cool, right? This is something called sympathetic resonance. What makes this one vibrate when it's not touching this one? Well, it's using the medium of air, and because they're resonating, it can make this one vibrate. So it's a well-known, established understanding that if you're sitting here and I'm doing tuning fork work on you, on your biofield, right, which is considered now a science of sorts, then I can help heal your biofield. Okay. But then COVID happened. And now people couldn't go to their tuning fork person. And people started doing it on Zoom. And at first, everyone was like, that's not going to work. How can that work? How can someone do that? Or use a weighted tuning fork, which means that when I hit it, you're not going to hear the sound of the vibration. But in person, I would hold it on different parts of your body, and it would resonate with your body, right? Vibration is vibration. How in the heck could it work across a Zoom screen? Well, this gets even more interesting in that, what if we didn't even have a Zoom screen? What if I was just sitting here with a focused intention and I didn't need air as the medium? In fact, I had what's called the information field as the medium, and I was doing tuning fork on you. Could I heal you? Could I help you? So let's talk about quantum entanglement. Albert Einstein called quantum entanglement spooky action at a distance. And if you are into energy work or energy medicine or tools at all, I'm sure you have seen 𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂. I used to have a whole collection of the 𝒏𝒂𝒂 equipment. I don't use that anymore because I feel that radionics is better. And I'm hesitating when I say that because I know that 𝒏𝒂𝒂 has helped a lot of people, like people with cancer. It's helped a lot of people. But at the same time, it's a different type of frequency. Radionics, it is a frequency. Radionics works with something that is more like a scalar wave, not frequency. So I'm not going to get into all that, but I just want you to understand what quantum entanglement is. Quantum entanglement is when two particles are so deeply linked that they become dependent on each other, and time and space are irrelevant. Spooky action at a distance. Let me give you an example. There have been studies where someone has scraped a person's tongue, taken the cells, put it in a petri dish, taken the cells in the petri dish across town, and then shown that individual whose mouth they came from. Scary pictures, sad pictures, happy pictures. Those cells under a microscope reacted harmoniously, sympathetically with the person, dependent on what feelings they were having. Do you get that? Spooky action at a distance, quantum entanglement. So let's go from tuning forks to radionics. If I was using a tuning fork and you're not even here and I don't even have you on a screen, let's just say I have what's called a surrogate. I'm not going to take it off my wall, but I have a picture of a human body and I write your name on it. This is how I used to do it before radionics. And I'm using my tuning fork and I'm going across your body and I'm feeling, oh, on the side where there's mother issues, it's a little stagnant here. I'm actually working on your field. And, you know, for a long time, people were like, that would never work. Well, it does. And it's because of quantum entanglement. So stepping into radionics, what does radionics do? Instead of using air as a medium, like these two tuning forks would do, I'm using the information field. And I'm using focused intention. So the radionics instrument is not the magic pill. It's the transmitter of my focused intention with your picture or your name and address or whatever it is inside my witness well. Now, if I'm using my 𝒕𝐻𝐿e or my AO scanner, it's all digital, and I have your picture. I have, maybe your height and your weight, things that identify you. If I'm using 𝒕𝐻𝐿e, I have your picture, your date of birth, your location of birth. So it doesn't really matter. You can use different elements, but at the end of the day, it's radionics, okay? Whether you're using 𝒕𝐻𝐿e, AO scanner, or a traditional radionic, like a KRT device, instrument. You're taking a person, let's just use a picture as an example, because you can also do, in a radionics device, you can also do blood sample, hair sample, saliva. So I'm putting a picture of you in my device, and then I'm tuning in with my focused intention. I'm tuning into the energy of you. That's quantum entanglement, because you as an individual are unique. Just like on the AO scanner, I take a sample of your voice. Nobody has your voice. People may sound like you, people may be able to impersonate you, but only you have the exact fluctuations, the exact notes. It's just as unique as a fingerprint or a snowflake or your iris, okay? So when your picture is in my witness well or on my device, which is like the witness well, I'm tuning in to your frequency. So think of it like this is one tuning fork and I'm the other tuning fork. And I'm finding the energetic commonality, if you will, to tune into you so that I've got your exact energy signature in here. So whether I'm doing a diagnosis, and remember, these are not medical devices, I'm doing energy work, you could call it spiritual work, it's not medical work. Okay, I want to be really clear on that. That I'm tuning in through my focused intention and my connection with you, spooky action at a distance, because I have something that represents you, your picture. I'm tuning into you, and I'm using my dials to find, if I'm diagnosing, I'm using my dials to see where your energy feels off, how your general vitality is. And then once I've, assessed that, I want to know, how can I raise that person's energetic field? How can I balance out their energy? And then I'm tuning in to figure that out. And then when I broadcast, I'm sending scalar waves to wherever you are, whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter if you are next door, in my office, on Mars, or in Peru. Quantum science does not account for time and space. Time and space, sorry about that. Excuse me. Time and space do not exist. Okay, if we're using two tuning forks, the medium is air. Time and space does exist, but when we're using radionics, time and space does not exist. So that is how it works. Now, when I'm doing tuning forks on you here in my office, for example, you can use vibration. You can say through sympathetic resonance that it's working, and it does. Excuse me. But in radionics, that's where traditional physics hits the wall, because with radionics, now we're in the quantum realm. Time and space is irrelevant. We don't need air as a medium. We have the information field that we're working on. And that's why a person can send me their picture. I can take it offline and print it out and put it in my witness well, and I can work on whatever issue they've got going on, and I can raise their vibration, literally. So think about that.